Hey guys, got to talk to you about this DOJ memo that just came down, which effectively eliminates the Fourth Amendment from our Constitution. Now, if you know anything about American history, you understand how essential the protection of the home is. It's considered the person's castle. It is the dividing line between the exercise of government power in an arbitrary way and the rights of the individual in the clearest of examples. Now, what this memo does is it basically authorizes law enforcement under this stupid pretext of the Alien Enemies Act, which I'll get to in a minute, doesn't apply. It is completely a sham. And it allows them to enter into the home of a migrant without a warrant, without an arrest warrant, without a search warrant. It also allows them to enter into the home of a third person in order to try to get a migrant. Now, the reason this is such a big deal is the framers of our Constitution, if you read the Declaration of Independence, wanted to create a protective mechanism whereby you had an independent judicial officer who would analyze a search warrant or an arrest warrant application and make a determination that probable cause exists before you went into a person's home. That was one of the main ways the King of England violated the rights of the people in the 13 colonies, quartering troops in the home, arbitrary searches, arbitrary seizures, arresting people without a warrant. These are exactly the kinds of things that are the most essential fabric of who we are as a people. Now, what they are doing here is they're not only saying that you don't need a warrant to go into a migrant's home or a third person's home, they're also saying that if you want to write a warrant yourself as a police officer, as an ICE agent, as an FBI agent that has been deputized to work on immigration enforcement, you can do that. Now, a warrant that is signed by actual law enforcement is effectively no warrant at all. It is also a complete and ridiculous farce. Now let's talk about the basis for this memorandum. Why do they think they can do this? Well, under the Alien Enemies Act, which by the way is just a statute, and statutes in our framework cannot override constitutional provisions. Constitutional provisions like the First, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Seventh Amendment, Eighth Amendment, those are higher than statutes. Now, you can pass a law to interpret this, but they can never override, a statute can never override a constitutional provision. But that's exactly what they've done here. They've said that because they believe Tren de Agua and MS-13 and other gangs are foreign terrorist organizations, that effectively we're at war under the Alien Enemies Act with a foreign hostile nation state. Now, the reason this is ridiculous are two main ones. Number one, in a court case just a few weeks ago, it was determined after taking evidence that Tren de Agua, and in fact, any of these Latin American gangs, MS-13 or otherwise, have no operational presence in the United States. There may be individual gang members who get a DUI or commit a crime, but that is not part of a pattern of like racketeering activity on behalf of the actual criminal organization like you see with the mafia, okay? So number one, they're not a threat as an organization, okay? So that's the factual predicate for the application of the Alien Enemies Act doesn't exist and falls apart. But secondly, the Alien Enemies Act applies when we're at war. It's only been used in times of war like World War II and wars before that. A declared war against a nation state. We don't have that here, okay? So what you have here is a complete evisceration of our constitutional framework, one of our most essential basic protections against the power of the government being used in an arbitrary manner. And that is founded itself upon a misapplication of the law and a complete factual sham underpinning that law. You should be scared. This is a big deal, and we are heading straight down into a constitutional darkness of totalitarianism. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you all.